Netherlands. They're right here, that little yellow orangey thing. It's a very small country per se, and you can drive around it fairly quickly. Most people start in Amsterdam, and it's quite a big city, but it's a walking city for most of it. It's world famous for its canals and the red light district, and it's tame enough that even if you're a little skirmish, you can go walk through it. And because it is world famous, and right downtown, just right near the train station. And then you can go see Anne Frank's home and the Van Gogh, I think they say now, and some other famous museums. It's a city you can spend 2 days in, but maybe make it 3 days and 4 nights, because you'll want to go to Anne Frank's home and several other places that are famous, like I just mentioned. From there, if you had more time, which you need to see some of the Netherlands. Oh, I need to tell you first, the Netherlands is the country. We often call it Holland. Holland is the state where Amsterdam is in. So you're not wrong if you're going to go to Amsterdam to say you're going to Holland, because that is in Holland. It's also in Netherlands. So try to get in the habit of saying Netherlands for meaning the whole country. Of course, you know that most of the Netherlands is very flat and has dikes, and it's a great place to ride bikes. It's amazing how many bicycles they have in the city of Amsterdam and Rotterdam and places. It's amazing. And they have lots of bike stands everywhere. Just park your bike and go. I've heard several rumors, and I don't know if they're true, but I'll tell you in case you hear it, that you just take a bike. If you left a bike and can't find it, take a bike and go. I hate that thought, because I may have paid a lot of money for my bike, and if I can't find it, I might be disappointed. But it's very outdoors, very physically active country. Then you'll go up to Keukenhof, and Keukenhof is famous for the tulips. You've seen pictures of huge fields with millions of tulips, and most of them in Keukenhof. It's not too far, but it's outside of Amsterdam, not too far. And if you're there, I guess mid-April to maybe mid-May, it depends on the weather and what's happening, but it's wonderful. My wife did it a couple of times. You go out there and you snoop around for the color that you like and the one that you want, and you say, I want that one right there, that plant right there, and they'll put a tag on it. And after the blooms go away, maybe in another month or something, they mail them to you. Yeah. And we had probably 10 different tulips in our patio, around our patio area. And everybody said, oh, they're beautiful. They said, where'd you get it? He said, oh, in Keukenhof. And so it's a good way to make sure you get the color, the type of plant that you want, because you pick it out to the exact one. And then you'll go from there to Delft. And Delft is a small town. It is famous because of the pottery. The Delft blue, you've heard of Delft blue, is that beautiful. Some people maybe call it Dutch blue, but it's a beautiful shade of blue. And you can buy the pottery, that every piece of pottery seems to have that somewhere on it, and a lot of it on it. It's beautiful. And a lot of shops that sell the Delft blue pottery in China, and I highly recommend going there if you're into that kind of thing. Then you go off to The Hague, The Hague, and that's the capital. And you see a couple of historical museums, walk around the important government buildings. There are quite a few there. And I don't know if you can do Delft and The Hague in one day if you don't spend a lot of time in buildings and shopping, because they're not far apart. And then you go from there to Rotterdam. Now it isn't a place that you really want to go. It's a port. It's one of the busiest ports in Europe. And but they do have some interesting shopping malls and restaurants. I recommend going. Now, what we did the last time I was there, I went with my brother, his wife, and my sister and her husband, and my first cousin and her husband. And we went over to the Netherlands and a lot of part of England to trace the heritage of my Fuller line, where they were born, and Edward Fuller and Samuel Fuller, where they were born and where they went to school, and the churches where they were married, and then went to the Netherlands. They went to Amsterdam for a couple of years, then they went to a suburb about 10 years, and then they went back to England and continued to Southampton. I mean, continued on down to, I guess it was Southampton. I got on a ship. It went down, started heading round England, and it broke down. So they went back to Plymouth to repair it. And then they came over to Plymouth, Massachusetts as part of the Puritans. And that is interesting for us because it meant something to us, because our great-great-great-grandparents were on that boat. In fact, 9 of the people on that boat who signed the Mayflower Compact are direct grandfathers of mine. They all intermarried at the beginning because there's nobody else. Maybe that's part of my problem. But it's been long enough, I think, to get it out of the system. But they, you really enjoy it. So as a result, that is not all of the Netherlands. You can go to several little towns that are strictly Dutch, but not many people go to these places because they just want to go to Amsterdam, and that's basically where people go and stay 4 or 5 days. You can easily stay 3 full days, 4 nights in Amsterdam, seeing all the museums and seeing things. And you can easily stay another 4 or 5 days in the Netherlands to see some very interesting towns. A lot of places you've never heard of, but as you drive around and stop and snoop around, you learn more and more. It's really a neat place to go, and I highly recommend it. Now, it's best, a lot of people go in April and early May to get the tulips and see them, and nobody wears wooden shoes, okay? There are a couple of touristy areas, touristy towns that cater to tourism, and those people will wear wooden shoes. But one thing nice about it, you can actually order and have made a special pair of wooden shoes for you. My wife got wooden shoes for me and her, and we put them in the foyer of a house in Texas and in Utah and in California. So it's very touristy, but that's what you do. And they fit because they have the right size. They're very awkward to wear, but some people like them. And that's the cheese there is very good. Well, their food is quite good too. They have a lot of Indonesian food there because they used to sort of be very involved with Indonesia and the Dutch East Indies, very popular, going back and forth for trade. And they also went Dutch West Indies. That's where they went to Aruba, Curacao, and also St. Martin, mainly, and did trade with sugar and all kinds of stuff. But I recommend going to the Netherlands. Another thing I might mention about the Netherlands is you do have the option of taking a ferry boat from England to Hoek van Holland, which is a port of Rotterdam. And you go down there and you board the ship in the evening. And it's a ferry boat. Cars and trucks and everything get on there. But they have a lot of cabins. You can pay for the cabins, which is a good way to do it because you can sleep. They're very adequate cabins, private bath and everything, like a real cruise ship. And then they have food on it. Food, I think it's all night long, because a lot of people go on the boat and sleep in the chairs and couches in the lounge and just sleep everywhere and all night long. And then you wake up in England. And I'm trying to think, what is the name of town? It starts with an H, but it's outside of Cambridge. And you just get off there and you drive anywhere you want to go. You'll probably want to get another car and leave your car in Holland, because they drive on the other side of the road in England. So you'll probably want to re-rent a car once there. But it's a wonderful little trip. We didn't sleep much in our beds because we were too busy watching the sea life, the ship life as you're crossing. Oh, it's busy. That channel is very busy with ships. And it's kind of fun. And talking to the people who are sleeping in the lounges and who weren't able to sleep. So, and they have a good buffet restaurant that has a wide variety of food. So I consider that, if you want, because it's unique and a different way to leave or enter the Netherlands.